Hi, people. We're talking about half-life today, which should be, it's just a type of radioactive decay. So it's going to follow the same rules as the exponential decay we saw in previous class. So today should be a nice day for you. All right, I'll tell you about half-life. Radioactive isotopes, so those are just elements that break down. They decay in such a way that 50%, half of the sample, breaks down in a specific and constant amount of time. Okay, so there's a nice mathematical way we can predict what's going on. The time it takes for half the sample to decay is called half-life. We're going to call it H. You might have seen it called something else in a different class. Okay, so H is an amount of time. It's the time it takes half a sample to decay. Now, each radioactive isotope, so if you forget your science, an isotope is just an element with a specific number of neutrons. Like I could say uranium-238, that's an isotope. Carbon-14, we'll do an example with it, that's an isotope. They are different isotopes, so they have different half-life. All right, here's the formula you'll be using, and it is just the exponential decay formula. I'll break it down for you. So A is the remaining amount, A naught is the starting amount, this is normal. Remember last week we had like 1 minus or plus r, which is just 0.5 when you're dealing with half-life, because the amount gone is half. 1 minus that is half. Okay, so t, which we'll use as x on your calculator if you're graphing something, that's how much time's gone by, and h is the half-life. These units don't matter. They can be days, years, hours, whatever, as long as they match. Okay, so basically it depends on what the half-life is. If the half-life is 100 years, make sure time is in years. If the half-life is 6.8 hours, make sure the time is in hours, and everything's going to work out. Okay, one other thing you might see, in fact you will see, is if you're asked about a remaining percentage, it's the same formula, but the starting amount is 100. You start with 100%, okay? And then plugging everything in will just, your answer will come out as a percentage. All right, we'll move on and do some examples next.